Wanted to continue this conversation around noting. This would be what I would call triple noting, or noting the three foundations, three pastures of mindfulness, based on Satipatthana Sutta, and doing it in a combined metta vipassana strategy, um, particularly in a householder's practice, or you can also do this on retreat. I like to do it on retreat. So, concentrating the mind, beginning the practice period with a period of with a period of metta practice, or organizing the metta practice as a concentration-based practice. So you're bringing your intention around the choice of person that you're doing the metta practice for. Could be yourself, could be a revered person, friend or family member, could be a neutral person, a difficult person. When you're orienting the metta practice as a concentration practice, you're focusing on a particular person. So choosing one person to practice for. Intending the practice for this specific person, concentrating on the mind state of metta. Is it there or not? So fostering the arising of the mind state. Often, having a short list of people that it's easy to find the mind state of metta for is a good way to organize a householder's practice. So you intentionally bring to mind the person that, in bringing them to mind, brings with them the mind state of metta, establishing the mind state of metta, and then moving to the person that you're going to work with in that period of practice if it's different from that person. Concentrating narrowly on the mind state of metta, and then repeating the phrase, the metta phrase that you're working with for the period of practice. I like to work with a simple phrase. The simple phrases are easier to concentrate or to continue the concentration with. Again, it is just the mind state that is the object of meditation. The repetition of the phrases is just as a reminder that you're engaged in that practice. May I be peaceful, may you be peaceful is the phrase typically that I use. So in organizing a period of practice, 10 or 15 minutes of a concentration-oriented metta practice is the beginning. And then moving into a practice period of vipassana, using one of Shinzen Young's techniques, for instance, flexible noting, see, hear, feel practice, developing sensory clarity around visual phenomena, auditory phenomena, and sensory feeling phenomena in the body. The visual experience is exterior sight if the eyes are open, an internal visual experience, the mental screen where you experience memory, planning, fantasy, or the imagery associated with it. The visual experience of the outline of the body in its current position, the visual experience of the body's location, the visual experience of or the visual reaction to the experience of sensation in the body, the visual reaction to exterior sound, auditory experience, exterior sound, internal auditory thinking, sensation in the body, gravity, temperature, respiration, circulation, digestion, the efforting to hold the posture, emotion in the body, dividing these up into categories of see, hear, feel. For sensory clarity, first foundation noting them as see, hear, feel individually. You can note them as paired experiences. See, hear, feel, hear, feel. Noting them as combined arisings, all. Adding to that a double noting strategy for second foundation, Vedana, feeling tones, is the sensing experience itself pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. So noting for sensory clarity, is the see experience, is it a hear experience, is it a feel experience? And then on top of that, noting for the feeling tone aspect. So see pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. Hear pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. Feel pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. Something like see neutral, hear pleasant, feel unpleasant. And then adding to that experience a triple note. I like to use the craving, aversion, unconsciousness list. The labels that I like to attach to that is if the mind is craving something different than what is, using the label wanting. If the mind is aversive to the experience as it's arising, using the label not wanting. We typically don't notice that we're caught up in unconsciousness until we're already caught up in thinking. So as soon as we're aware that we're caught up in thinking, noticing that by punctuating it with the label thinking and then coming back into the meditation. And then if we're actually in equanimity with the experience that we're having, using the label peace for that. So in a triple noting strategy, first you note for sensory clarity, then you note for the feeling tone, and then you note for the third foundation, mind, sita. So in just noting the experience that I'm having now, using single noting on the sensory clarity aspect to give you an idea of what I'm suggesting. Here, unpleasant, peace. Here, unpleasant, peace. Here, unpleasant, peace. Here, unpleasant, peace. You get the idea. Thanks.